In this video, we are going to discuss all about the unit testing in Spring Boot applications. We'll start first from the basics of unit testing. Then we'll come to the JUnit. We'll write the test cases in JUnit and we'll take a simple example. After that, we'll come to the Mockito. In Mockito, we'll try to write the test cases and we'll combine the Mockito and with JUnit to test the test cases. And we'll take an example of some services. So we'll create a project, simple product service, and we'll write the test cases for product, and at the last we'll see the code coverage for the complete test cases. So let's start it. So we are going to start with the basics of unit testing. There are a number of testing involved in the development of software application. So unit testing is one of the important testing when it comes to check the correctness of the isolated code. Unit testing involves the testing of individual component at a very base level. We can say this is the first level of testing that generally performed by developer. So in the unit testing, we write different test cases to check the correctness of the code. Even if we write 2 to 3 lines of code, we write the test cases so to cover the all their code coverage. Unit testing ensure the software maintainability and the reusability. We can easily maintain the software even if any new developer is coming to your team. Then even with the help of the test cases, we can easily identify the bugs and we can fix that. There are various frameworks that we can use to test the test cases. In this course, we are going to use JUnit and Mockito. So let's see, we'll start with the JUnit first. To start with JUnit, I have created a simple project here. In this project, if we see pom.xml, in pom.xml we have added a default dependency will be there, the Spring Boot starter test. These dependencies include JUnit and Mockito both. And now if we come to our main packages, here we have a default main class that will be there in any application that you are creating a Spring Boot project. We have source test Java where all our test cases will be there. So let's write a simple class in the services, and I give it name here calculation service. So this calculation service will annotate this as a service. To just start with JUnit, I'm adding a simple method here, public int add number. I'm passing two numbers, so I int a int b, and will return a plus b. This method is basically adding two numbers. To just start it with JUnit, so we have taken this simple example. Now to test this method, we are going to create a corresponding test class in the same package, but that will be there in the source test Java folder. So here we'll create one class. We'll give it name calculation service test. So we keep the name same as the calculation service, and at the last we'll place test with the name of the class. So this is the general we do follow the standard when we're writing the test classes and the service classes. So now we'll extend this as an Spring unit test. So Spring unit test is created. I have created here. It's just a base class that has annotated with Spring Boot test, and we are giving the web environment mock and the classes, the class that will load our application context and all the main class that will be run as Spring Boot application. So that we defined here the classes. And in the calculation service test here, now we'll add one method here. So here we are going to add a method public void test add numbers. Now we'll use here annotation @test. To run the method as an test, we should have to annotate as an test. So this method will be now preferred as a test in Spring Boot application. Now what we'll do here, we'll use assert equals. So assert equals is the method from assertion class that will do a test our program logic. Here we will give the expected. So for example, I give it here expected. Before that we have to auto void our calculation service. So we'll give here calculation service. Calculation service. These are the two numbers that we are passing, and this is the expected and this is the actual that we'll get from the service response. Now we'll run this as a JUnit. To run this, to test this is run as JUnit test. Now when we'll run this, it will start as a Spring Boot app and it will load all the beans. Now if you see here in the test JUnit, our test has passed because it's returning 4 and we have given also the 4 value. And let's copy this and paste. We'll create one another test and here we'll give 10. Now we'll run again this as an JUnit test. On the left hand side, now you can see the two tests has executed. One has been passed the test and number and this one is failed. So if you see here, the failures are 1 and 2 test cases has run. In JUnit there are various annotations that we use when we write test cases. At test we already seen. At test annotation used to specify that method will be used as a test. At timeout will specify the time at which the method has to execute. If it's taking longer than that time, it will be failed. At before each. So in JUnit 4 we are using at before, and in JUnit 5 we are using at before each. At before each, if we specify the method, this annotation that will execute before each test case. At before, all will execute only once. Same at after and after each, that will be execute after the test case. At ignore, we are used to ignore this test case, and JUnit 5 we are using at disabled. So next we will discuss more about the JUnit and we'll see the Mockito also. Before proceeding further, let's first discuss one of the important topic when it comes to test the unit test cases in Spring applications. It's a Mockito. Mockito is one of the library to test the unit test cases in Spring application. It is a mocking framework that will be helpful to create clone or copy of the real objects. We'll see in detail how we can use the Mockito. Mockito will be helpful when it comes to test the test cases or test the component that is under development, or even if the development is already completed and it may be connected to any external services. So we can pass the input what exactly it has to do. We'll see in the detail with example. We can combine with JUnit. So in the next couple of examples, we'll see how we can use Mockito with JUnit and write easy and understandable test cases. So let's discuss some more examples for the JUnit and Mockito. I've created some of the classes here. Product is a class that will store all the information about the product. And I've created here product service. Product service, there are CRUD operations to create, read, update and delete the product. And we have product service impl that will store the business logic and it will create, read, delete and update the product. Now we are going to first write our test cases here. So we are going to add in the services. Here we'll create a new class and we'll give the name project service impl test, and we'll put in the package impl. So impl also in the same package though, so let's give in the services package. So we let's finish it, and same we'll extend this as an spring unit test, that is our custom class that we have created. So next here we are now going to use a Mockito library to write and test the JUnit test cases. So we need four methods to test: get, read, update, and delete. So first let's just create a test, and we'll create for the create public void create product. So now if we see the behavior of create product, it will get a product if we go to the product service impl. So here let's switch to this. We need to pass the product and it will create a product. So we will pass product. So in our test class, now we are in the create product. So here we'll use Mockito. First, before going to use Mockito, let's first mock inject our mock the product service. So it will inject this the object of the product service. Let's change to inject mock. So the product service interface is implemented with this class. So we'll get the object for this, and here we need one more mock. We need to mock the product, because ultimately we are going to create a product in our database. So we'll mock a copy of product object here. Let's import this. Now we'll write the logic of creating the product here. First we'll try with the stub that we're doing in the JUnit. So to do that, we can do product equal to new product, and we write all our product dot set id, set name, price, everything here, and then we'll call this product service dot create product, and it will give us a product created item, and then we can test it with assert equals product dot get id. Let's pass here product dot set id 1l, and here we can pass 1. So this is the way we do in JUnit to write all the stub, all the logic here. We can create a product, and then we call this assert equals to test this method. So to test this, we go to run as and JUnit test. So here it will not initializing, cannot initiate inject mode. So let's do this to test this with we can do auto white. We'll go run as JUnit test. So we are returning null from there, from the product. So if we go to here in the impl class, we are returning null. So here the return null is coming, If you see in the service simple, we are returning null. Because of that, our test case has been failed. So this is the way we are doing in the JUnit. But let's try it in the Mockito. We'll now change to this inject mocks. Now here we write Mockito dot when product dot get id dot then return well one, and here we'll write Mockito dot when product dot get product name dot then return t-shirt. Similarly, we'll write for others Mockito dot when product dot get product price dot then return 200 500.00, and for the Mockito dot when product dot get product category dot then return clothing. Now in the product service impl class, what we'll do here, this is our test class, and go to our impl class. So here we'll returning null. Let's return here the product same that we are passing, and then we'll go to here. Now we'll do Mockito. So here let's write product created item, it equal to product service dot get dot create product. Then we write assert echo assert assert not null created item. Now we'll run this as an JUnit test. So here if we got we can get some initialization error here. So one, you can do like this if you want to initialize the interface with. So one of the way you can do like this, and if you create here run as now JUnit test. So now this test has executed and it's passing our result. Other way you can write like this, and then we can remove this. Now if we run as JUnit test, so now we are getting our test cases has been passed. So this is what we're doing. This is what we are doing here. We are returning product, but let's create a repository class here. That's basically we do because we have to save this data in the database, and then we need to retrieve it. So let's add one more class here, and we'll call this. We need to create basically an interface, and we'll save in the repository package product repository, and we'll extend this as JPL repository, and we'll give here product, and the ID is long. Let's annotate this as a repository. Now we'll come to our project service impl test class here, and let's first do here product new created item. First we'll do auto void product repository. Here we'll do product repository dot save product, and we'll return then created item. So in the impl test class, now here we'll mock the project repository. So the product repository, so here we'll write Mockito dot when product repository dot save, and here we'll give Mockito dot any. That can be any object or any value, dot then return the same product that we have listed here. We have not seen here the name of this class, we need to change it. Let's refactor this and rename product service simple. Okay, and here we'll write assert equals, we are passing t-shirt, so the created item dot get product name. Now we'll run this as an unit test. Our test has success. So this is the way we can use Mockito for creating a product item. Let's see one thing here. If we do before each, and here we'll give public void init, and here we'll write our complete product code here, and here we'll just write the logic that's specific to the method. Now we'll write here test public void get products, so we call this test get products. Similarly, we have to give here the method name with test create product. So here we'll do Mockito dot when product repository dot find all, then return arrays as list product, and here we'll write assert equals, we'll give it value 1, and here we'll give Let's first give it here list of product. Product items, product service dot get products. We'll give it the size of the list here. And here we'll return project repository dot find all. Okay, this looks fine. Now we'll run this as a JUnit test. So we have executed two test cases, test get products and test created product. So both are working fine. Let's add the get. This is for get products, and we'll write here test update product. To update the product, here we'll write give a mockito.any, then return product. Now here we'll pass mockito dot when product dot get product name dot then return short. Let's remove this one and we'll check here the product. So we'll pass here product service dot update product and product dot get id. Similarly, we'll give this statement here to check the update of the product. We'll give shirt and updated item. And in the update case, we'll write here. For now, we are not checking if the product is there in the DB or not. Just let us write here product update item product repository dot save product, and we'll return here update item. Now we'll go to our back the test class here. Now we'll run as JUnit test. Now we can see three method has executed the three test cases and all are passed. If we write here t-shirt and now if we run as JUnit test, then this method should be failed. Let's check out. So this method has been failed because the name of the product is changed to shirt. So now we'll run as again JUnit test. All three test cases are passed. Next here we write for the delete. For the delete, let's first write here the logic. We'll give here product equal to, and we'll call product repository dot find by id, and we'll pass this id. And after that we'll call product repository dot delete, and here we'll give product dot get. Now in our test class, here first we'll give Mockito dot do nothing when product repository dot delete Mockito dot any. Next we'll give here Mockito dot when product repository dot find by id, and let's pass find id 1, and then return optional dot of product, and we'll call product service dot delete, and we'll give here product dot get id, and here we'll verify. So we can verify, we can use this method of verify from the mock to verify the certain behavior. So here we'll give product service, and here we'll pass times. So times we can give how many times we want to that execute. We need to execute only once, then delete product dot get id. So now we'll run as JUnit test. So the last method, test delete product, has been failed. So we can now, if you are continuous getting exceptions, you can create a object mock of object like this. If you get exception of like mock, you are passing the mock, but you are getting mock not found exception or mock exception something, then you can create an object like this, or you can mock a interface for this service, and then we'll use this service dot delete, and then we'll verify it. So let's run this as a JUnit test. So now our all test cases has been passed. We have created the product, we are reading, delete and updating the product. So all are passing without any failure. You can uh, you can write the failure test cases as well, and then you can check. So this is all about the Mockito, and we have used various annotations of JUnit. We can try the timeout as well. For example, we can give here a timeout. We can pass value 1000, and then we'll run a JUnit test. 1000 is 1000 millisecond, that is 1 second. So if the method is not executed under this time, it will be failed. So yeah, our all the test cases has passed. For example, you can see here the timing that method is taking. So this all the report you can check out here. Next we'll deploy this complete project, and we'll check the code coverage report. You can find all the code in a GitHub repository. You can go to this repository, Spring Framework Tutorial, and here you can find all the code related to Spring unit testing. Now here in the Spring Framework tutorial, I've added one actions file. In an action file, we are running a build for Spring unit testing project, and we are creating a report for the code coverage, and that we are uploading to the codecoverage.io. So this is the tool that we can use. If we can go to our repository, here you will find the repository, and here you can find all the code coverage. So if you see in the services, we have calculation service that has covered completely, and others files, like if we go models, we can add in the ignores, because we don't need to write the test cases for models. And products are service simple. So we have covered all these lines. So these lines and this lines has pending, that is not being covered. This is an interesting tool for the code coverage. You can integrate your repository with the code coverage tool, and you can start a build here. For example, in this repository, we can go to actions, and in the Spring unit testing, we can start a build here, run workflow, and run workflow. So our build will be triggered now if we go to all workflows. So this is the latest build that has triggered, and it will create a report. So there are steps that it will do in a job. First it will set up a JDK, then MVN clean install, and then it will upload the code coverage report. So this is all about the unit testing. We have started from the JUnit, and then we have covered Mockito. So we have written various test cases, and we have taken the example of product service product repository. We have created the product in the DB. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. There will be more content that will upload in coming days related to Spring and React. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, like and share the video, and thank you for watching this.